Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, only an act of God can make Tinubu the next president of Nigeria come 2023. But if he does become the next president of Nigeria come 2023, then that would not be for lack of trying from Malam Buhari and his cabal to frustrate his efforts and make sure that he doesn't become the president. Guys, I bring you this. Fresh crisis hits APC as plot to deal with Tinubu Osinbajo thickens. So Tinubu, of course, Osinbajo, those are two names that appeared together in the minds of the Malami because they effectively see Osinbajo as a Tinubu's boy within their government. You have to remember that Osinbajo was the Attorney General for Lagos State under Tinubu's tenure as the governor of that state, and Tinubu was meant to be the running mate, by the way, of Buhari in 2015, but there was a lot of outcry that Nigerians don't want a Muslim ticket, so they had to jettison Tinubu, and then they gave him then the fiat to appoint anybody that he liked, and he has put Osinbajo in there. So Osinbajo and Tinubu are one and the same as far as Malam Buhari is concerned, as again, fresh crisis hits APC as plot to deal with Tinubu, Osinbajo, thickens. So now let's not get into the details of it. Fresh crisis has erupted in the All Progressive Congress APC at the weekend, signaling that the crisis, which rocked the party and gave birth to the Governor Mia Malabuni-led caretaker committee, was not over. It surfaced as a grand conspiracy seemingly designed to finally sideline Vice President Yemi Osinbajo and nail the presidential ambition of Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the party. Correspondents can reveal that 27 leaders of the party, under the umbrella of the new cabal, as a first step, met with selected members of the committee in Abuja and concluded on extending the caretaker committee's tenure till April. The meeting was attended by members from almost all geopolitical zones, with former Governor of Ogun State, Senator Ibikunle Amosun, standing in as the Southwest representative. Further checks also revealed that some of the resolutions at the meeting, which was held at the private residence of the Attorney General of the Federation, Malami, were extension of the tenure of the caretaker committee till April 2021, commencement of a jealously guided party registration that would take care of the new cabal's presidential interest, whittling down of Tinubu's grip on the party's structure, and possible resignation of Buni as governor and his subsequent emergence as party chairman, amongst others. But a mild drama, however, ensued at the meeting when one of the conveners suggested that those in attendance should swear to an oath to prevent information from the meeting from being leaked to other leaders of the party. The suggestion was, however, turned down by a few members who dismissed it as immature and petty. Meanwhile, following signals from the secret meeting, another set of APC members known as APC Concerned Members Forum have warned Buni-led committee not to attempt to elongate its tenure in office beyond December and should stop the proposed membership registration. The concerned APC members stated in a statement signed by one of the 2019 gubernatorial aspirants for Benue State, Ogonyi Opoku, that they supported the move to dissolve Comrade Oshomole-led Executive Council after it discovered that it lacked capacity to listen to opposing views within the party, internal democracy, and listen to advice from members. The group indicated that they were part of the court processes and movements leading to the major protest that led to the sack of Oshiomhole's National Working Committee, and that their expectation was for the present caretaker committee to resolve the internal crisis within the party, conduct convention, and hand over to the duly elected National Working Committee of the APC after the expiration of the 6-month mandate given by the National Executive Committee (NEC). As loyal party members, even though the composition of the caretaker committee was at variance with Section 17, subsection 4 of our party's constitution, which states nobody could hold executive position at the same time within the party position. The party's National Executive Council breached this same constitution with the imposition of Mia Malabuni-led caretaker committee. Remember, the word caretaker is not known in our constitution. We obeyed the resolution of the NEC meeting as directed by our leader, President Muhammadu Buhari, after they made the two resolutions public, which is to reconcile party members in various states of the federation and conduct convention in December 2020. But we were shocked when we read it in the newspapers this Thursday that the caretaker committee is embarking on new membership registration. This is outright fraud. How can a party that have existed for over 7 years commence a new registration instead of updating the existing register? It is now clear that the intention is to divert 1.5 billion the committee has budgeted for the same exercise without procurement process. The committee is also planning the dissolution of all wards, local government areas, and state excos, and conduct new congresses, even though their tenure will not expire until 2 years' time. This must be resisted by all party members, the statement stated. As to the committee's claim of having finished reconciliation in Ekiti and some other states, the forum said the public should know that Buni and his co-travelers have further encouraged crises in those state chapters than solving problems inherited. In particular, the forum made reference to Zamfara, where it said Senator Kabil Marafa recently exposed the committee's lies. In a statement, according to them, Marafa declared that the Buni-led committee lied and that the two factions in the state are still very much alive, with each with its own secretariat in operation, likewise in Ekiti, Rivers, and other states. The forum was quick to remind the CTC that the National Executive Committee NEC resolution did not give them such powers to begin new registration of members because none of them were elected without party membership cards. Our Governor Buni, Oyetola Bello, and other members of CTC no longer card-carrying members of the party that we now want to give them new membership cards, the statement queried. Driving home their point, the forum now tabled their demands, which include 1. The caretaker committee should begin the process of convening the national convention in December with immediate effect. 2. The permanent party membership cards that were printed and submitted to the party's national secretariat by APC Data Center for onward distribution to our members in the wards, local government areas, and states should be distributed immediately. In case they cannot find it, they should request it from our data center. 3. The incoming National Working Committee should handle the updating of new register if we so need to update one. 4. If our demands are not met, we will have no option other than to approach the courts for interpretation of our constitution as it was done before you came on board and we will occupy our secretariat. The party belongs to all of us. 5. The most senior member of the sacked Oshiomhole-led NWC should be returned as chairman because that is what our party constitution says. 6. We call on state chairmen of the party not to join the illegal registration because it is tailored for your removal from office in the long run. The steps of Buni-led caretaker committee has further left no one in doubt that the committee has lost foothold in the discharge of its duties as unbiased umpires and now interested in squandering the 3.9 billion naira left in the party's purses, which has been depleted daily. Lastly, we, the concerned APC members, call on President Muhammadu Buhari to call to order the caretaker committee before they destroy the image and goodwill of our great party due to their selfish interest and tenure elongation plots. We will not sit back and allow this to happen to our beloved party. So they are long-winded and very extended, and of course internal fighting, but at the heart of it is a move against Tinubu, because you have to go back and go through the sequence of events. Oshiomhole, of course, is a Tinubu man, but then outside being a Tinubu man, Oshiomhole is actually a nuisance. So for those two reasons, they got rid of him. One, because he was a Tinubu man, and two, because it was a nuisance, so they had to. So nobody can quibble too much about the getting rid of Oshiomhole, but him being a nuisance, by the way, was the excuse that they used to get rid of him for their original reason of wanting to get rid of him, i.e. he's a Tinubu man. So they got rid of Oshiomhole. So now they are now sweeping Oshiomhole's influence completely out of the party. And if they sweep Oshiomhole's influence completely out of the party, then that is effectively sweeping Tinubu's influence completely out of the party. So now they are wanting to now re-register everybody now within the party. So if they are re-registering everybody within the party, then that allows them then to vet and prune out Tinubu's men from the party. So the people then that they are going to be letting into the party will be essentially their people, because they are the ones letting those people into the party, and they will find reasons to say that one person or the other is not qualified. We saw what happened to Obaseki, the guy that went to UI, and UI said he schooled there and he passed out there, and Oshiomhole is telling us that he doesn't even have a primary certificate, a primary education. So this is, they just use, you know how they operate anyway. Let's not go through that. But really what they are doing is a clean sweep of the party and then padding the party with their own men. And once they have done that, that is the end of Tinubu's influence. But now Tinubu has now been placed slightly outside of the party now, because Oshiomhole is not there anymore, and this Mia Malabuni is certainly not Tinubu's man. It's Malami's man, Abubakar Malami's man, and Buhari's man. And within the southwest, of course, you have to understand that it is not, and not just the southwest, by the way, but the southern region. But let's focus on the southwest. Within the southwest, you have to understand that it is not only Tinubu that is nursing that presidential ambition. Fayemi of Ekiti State, he also wants to be president. Aregbesola wants to be president too, by the way. Osinbajo will tell you that he doesn't want it, but he knows how potent that position is. So if you offer him, he will say no, but if you offer him again, he will say, and then the third time he'll say, okay, you twisted, but he has that ambition too. So don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people within the southern region, Yoruba land I'm speaking to now, that are nursing that presidential ambition, and they owe Tinubu no obligation. And even if they feel obliged to Tinubu, that is not to say that they will give up a real potent opportunity to become the president of Nigeria for Tinubu, simply because they feel some sort of loyalty or they feel indebted to him in any way. They will shaft him in the back if the opportunity presents itself. And the opportunity to shaft him in the back now is this collaboration that they're having with the Malamis. So different strategies playing out. Tinubu, of course, is our ambition is quite open and naked, and everybody can see it. He wants to be the president of Nigeria in 2023. He has not shied away from that, and that is known. But then also other people want to be the president. So the subplot in the southern regions we've already discussed, but there's another plot in the northern region as well that we can explore. So there are two plots in the northern region that is playing out at the moment. The first plot of the northern region is to retain the presidency within their own zone. This is their number one agenda, and this is what they're pushing for the most. But if that becomes almost impossible, which is almost likely to be, especially with the experience that we've had with the Buhari regime, nobody is going to endure another a round of Malamis. The only thing that people are just waiting for is that 2023, that are we just going to suffer this guy for another 3 more years? So if 2023 comes and they don't transit power back to the south, then forget NSAS. Is now face me, I face you. What are we doing here? This is what will happen. So they have that understanding. So if they can't now get their first plan, their second plan is not to have Tinubu in that space. So that's the second plan, not to have Tinubu in that space, and there are several reasons for that. The first reason is Tinubu is far too powerful and far too independent of mind to be manipulated by anyone. So they already know that. And the second thing is they find Tinubu too corrupt, even for their own level of corruption. Tinubu is a notoriously corrupt man. So now, is he now going to take that corruption to the villa, or is he now going to say that he's made enough money? Because we're talking in the high-end single-digit, almost to double-digit dollar billionaire that Tinubu is. Tinubu is a vastly wealthy man. This is a man that will go to one of the sub-states in Yoruba region and boast to the whole state that I am richer than the entirety of your state put together. So he is a vastly wealthy man, but they say it is never enough for the greedy. So is this going to play out when he becomes the president of Nigeria, or is he now going to now say he wants a legacy and actually build that country? Tinubu does have the capacity to build Nigeria, by the way. There are two people by my reckoning, maybe more, but two people by my reckoning that have the capacity to build Nigeria, because they understand what is going on internationally and they are enough intelligence to understand what needs to be done within the Nigerian space. Those two people for me, and I absolutely detest these two people, by the way. These are part of my hate figures within the Nigerian space, but the two people that I feel have the capacity to evolve that country, especially within the mix that we have at the moment, with a realistic chance of sitting on that seat in Aso Rock. The two people that I feel have the most potency are Tinubu and Atiku Abubakar. Both of them, of course, notoriously corrupt, but they do have the capacity to develop Nigeria in the direction that it needs to go. So, but the Malamis, they don't want Tinubu because they cannot control Tinubu. They would rather have Fayemi there. Fayemi will blow a lot of grammar and tell you that he has a PhD in war studies and whatnot, but is not enough, rounded enough at that level of functioning not to be managed by the Malamis. So these are the plot and the intrigues that are going on within the APC space. They are trying to sweep the party clean of Tinubu's influence to pad it with their own influence in preparation for the 2023 presidency. Conversations in the and by the way, there's a Malami angle as well to this Abubakar Malami, because his hands are always in any untoward things that are going on in the background within the Buhari administration. And don't be too surprised, don't be too alarmed, don't get caught off guard to hear that this guy might possibly have presidential ambitions himself. So come share thoughts about all this with me in the comment section. But before you come share those thoughts, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. Bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done all the clickings, come tell me then what you're making of this Machiavellian maneuvering within the APC party, people stabbing each other in the back, a den of thieves, of course. So you can have no other expectation but that. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section, but here I say peace.